안녕하세요, 여러분. Welcome back. Michi-sam here. Michi's 미친영어코칭 videos for you to speak English better and to do business in English like a leader, like someone who has a good handle on the language and someone who doesn't let the language become a barrier for your business, for your life, for your social relationships. English should not cause those to suffer. English should not be a barrier to be in the way of your business, of your career, of your relationships. Language should not be the problem, okay? So I want to help you to overcome those barriers one video at a time. That's what I'm trying to do here on this channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to watch these videos when they come out and you can keep coming back to them to study. Okay, just short videos. These videos are like 5 to 10 minutes for me to give you some tips on English phrases you can use and how to use them in what kind of situations. So today, the situation we're in today is negotiating. Oh no, let's talk about negotiating. 협상은 싸움이 아니에요. It's a sophisticated conversation. It's not a fight, okay? A lot of people are very nervous about negotiating, okay? If you're like me, I hate negotiating. I am not a good negotiator, okay? In the times when I've had to negotiate in my life, I generally end up kind of giving in. I lose, yeah? And maybe you're like that too. So you get to be afraid of negotiating because you feel like you're going to be taken advantage of. That's a problem we all have. Or the other way, you feel like if you push back, you feel like you're fighting with this person and you don't want to fight. We don't like conflict, okay? But as I said, 협상은 싸움이 아니에요. It's not a fight. It's not a fight. It's a sophisticated conversation, and there are some phrases you can use to help you do better and help you get a better advantage for negotiating. So I'm going to teach you those phrases today, okay? They're kind of strategies, if you will, for negotiating. The first strategy number one, is this phrase. I was hoping for something closer to, and then name your price, okay? Let's say they give you a price. They say like, okay, we're going to, here's a new salary for you. Here's the salary we are going to offer you, okay? But you feel like, that's too low. I deserve more. Then you could say, I appreciate that. I was hoping for something closer to, and then give your number. Don't just say, that's not enough money for my salary, like that, right? Or if you're negotiating a price for buying something, you're going to buy something, don't just say, that's too expensive. 이 표현으로 주도관을 잡으세요. Say, I was hoping for something closer to this number, right? My salary is, I was hoping for something closer to this. Okay, so that phrase, it's a polite way to say what you want, what you are hoping for. Because you also, obviously, the other person knows you have a price that you're hoping to reach. They know that. It's a negotiation. They're not stupid. So don't be afraid to say it. But you have to say it in a proper way. You can't just say, that's too expensive. Or, no, I deserve more. No, say it like this. I was hoping for something closer to this number. Okay? Strategy number two, help me understand your perspective. This is very useful. The empathy hook, we call this, making the other person know that you understand them and you want to understand them. You want to understand them. So don't just say, okay, I understand your point. That is something I hear a lot. People say that. Okay, I understand what you're saying. I understand your point. Don't say that, even if you'd feel like you do understand their point, because that might make them feel a little bit, like, oh, this guy, he thinks he knows what I'm saying, but he doesn't. That's not a good way to communicate. A better way is to say, help me understand your perspective. 상대방의 의도를 파악하게 해줍니다. So it's a good way to let them know, I want to understand you. Please help me understand you. In other words, it means explain more is what it really means. Tell me more about what you want, your perspective. Perspective means your view, what you're thinking, your opinion. Help me understand your perspective. It's a very professional way to say to that person, I respect you, I'm listening, I want to hear what you think, okay? But I want to not just hear it, I want to understand it. If you say it like that, that person is going to say, oh, this guy, all right, or this girl, I really think that she's got a, really wants to know what I'm saying, and I think we can make a good agreement here. That immediately puts the other person, we say, not on the offensive or on the defensive. It kind of relaxes them, so they're not, being so defensive or, attacking offensively. They relax. They say, okay, this person and I think we can make an agreement because I like what he said to me. I feel like he respects me. I feel like she's understanding what I'm saying. So very helpful for that, because sometimes negotiation, that is the main barrier, that fear that people have. It makes them either aggressive or makes them defensive, and that can be the barrier to good negotiation. So this phrase will help you with that. Help me understand your perspective on that. Okay? Good one to use. Another one, strategy number 3. Is there any wiggle room? Wiggle room, it's a very cute phrase. Wiggle means, shake. But we say wiggle room, which means 여유가 좀 있나요? Right? Is there any flexibility? Okay? You're checking for flexibility without sounding desperate. It doesn't sound like you're, too desperate. You're not begging, but what it really means is, can we change the price a little bit or the terms? It depends on what you're negotiating. Let's say you're negotiating a contract, and they say like, okay, for this job, you get this much money and you have this many days vacation, but you thought, I kind of want a little more vacation. You could say, is there any wiggle room on the vacation days? Okay. In other words, can I get a little more? It's what it means. It's not begging, but that's what it means, right? Give me more, please. But it's cute and it sounds professional as well. So this is an interesting phrase because even though it's a cute phrase, it's still a very professional phrase, and it makes you sound like you're reasonable. You're not begging, but you're also not demanding, because demanding is not good in a negotiation. You're not saying, give me more. No, you're saying, is there any wiggle room? That means if you say no, I'll accept it still, but I'm just asking. Can you move a little bit? Okay, so that's a good phrase to use when you're just trying to get one more item that you think you could, negotiate. Okay, and then strategy 4, the last thing here, this is a good phrase. Let's meet in the middle. Let's meet in the middle. This is the classic compromise. Compromise means meet in the middle. 우리 절충안을 찾아봅시다. That means, we'll both compromise a little bit. You compromise a little, I'll compromise a little, and we get to the middle. I mean, that really is what negotiation is all about, right? Negotiation should always be win-win. Win-win, right? They need to win, you need to win. So sometimes, actually every time, when you negotiate, both people or both parties, both groups need to compromise a little bit. We both need to give up a little something. They have to give up something, I have to give up something, and we meet in the middle. That's what that phrase means. So it's a very good phrase to use when you want to say, can we both compromise? Not just you. I'm not demanding that you compromise. I'm saying I'll compromise if you compromise, and let's meet in the middle. Very useful, very good way to be able to make progress in a negotiation. Okay? Not a fight. You don't have to get angry. You can be polite. You can still be friendly. And hopefully, in the end of the negotiation, it's a win-win. Both of you are happy. Everybody goes home happy. That's what we're looking for. Try to use these phrases, and it will help you, okay? Come back to this video often and watch it again, and, practice using these, because you're going to need it if you ever have to negotiate anything using English. Try to use these phrases. All right, everybody, I'll see you in the next video.